Hey Bimb, so okay, this is not a vlog I really wanted to shoot, to be honest. My first gut reaction to when friends suggested I make a reaction to my old videos was, hell no, that ain't happening. By the way, this is 5 years ago again. I'm 28 years old now. I was 23 years old when I made Bubble, this crazy viral music video I made. And yeah, I had a moment where this thing came out and it was crazy and made noise in the Philippines and different parts of Southeast Asia. And then I just sort of like, whoop. I left YouTube, which is probably weird for people, but in 2013, it's not like you had this vlogging culture that you have today. So this is gonna be kind of weird, but I'm going to be reacting to my old YouTube videos and wish me luck. Alright, let's click play already. Oh, this is late.
This is Sebastian Castro.
Why am I talking like that?
Hello Bubbles, hello Sebsters. I just came out of the closet on all my social media.
Yeah, I heard.
I am gay. I am proud to be gay.
Wait.
I am proud to be one of you. It's so relief, actually. It feels good. So good.
Alright, we've seen that. If you guys want to watch that, you can just click on the original video. The first video was me coming out to like my social media audience. The second video, it's a story about me coming out to my parents, which is why it was a lot heavier. And it gets into religion because my parents are Jehovah's Witness, so let's just click play and get it over with.
Hey, this is Sebastian Castro, and this is about my coming out to my parents. I made a video over a year and 9 months ago where I came out on my social media.
I just came out of the closet.
But before that, there was something that is a lot harder, a lot nastier. That was me coming out to my parents themselves. There are two things that pretty much shaped my coming out, and yeah, one of them was my religion. My legs are kind of dead. My religion, my parents are Jehovah's Witnesses. The other was my ethnicity. My parents are Peruvian and Japanese. My mom is a Peruvian Japanese, my dad's Peruvian, and it sure shows when it comes to the masculinity in my family, because growing up it was all about being a man.
This is mostly in reference to my dad,
you know,
so
whether the toys I play with, or the people I hang out with, or the way I walk, or the way I talk, or the way I act, you know, it was being a man, and that's what it was my entire childhood. I remember that.
Okay. So far, so
For
good.
those that don't know, here's a quick rundown. They do not celebrate holidays, no Christmas, no Halloween, and no birthdays on top of that. I didn't grow up opening presents under a Christmas tree. I didn't grow up having presents on my birthday. There was none of that stuff.
Alright, pause. So, like I said there, yes, my parents were Jehovah's Witness. So much time has passed, I don't want people to think that I'm somehow anti-religion. That's just not the case. Naturally, there was a lot of resentment. I fully on resented my parents for disowning me. You know, just for making love conditional. There's a lot of things there that I feel like I've already dealt with, but I'm just admitting that while I probably had a very negative thought of organized religion from adolescence to probably like my mid-20s, I think I can now, having had more time away from it, can kind of see like it depends on the religion, it depends on how you use it. And in this particular issue, I'm not about making broad negative statements. Anyways, I'm gonna fast forward to the coming out because I know that's what you guys want to see. Yeah, this is it.
It's one of those days where I'm pretending to be sick. There was one particular sermon with one... It was so hard to sit through. After that, I remember I was pretending to be sick, and I got away with it for 2 days in a row, 2 meetings in a row. It's the third time, and my dad knows I'm faking it. And my dad, you know, the same dad who grew up with an abusive father, who grew up watching his My grandfather, his dad beat the living crap out of my grandmother, his mom. That dad is a man who takes action first, talks later. Get out of bed, you're going to the congregation. Get out of bed, you're going to this meeting. This is what matters right now. Get out of bed. I'm not going to say it again. And I am just, I am so weak. So puny and weak. I just trying to explain, yeah, okay, I'm faking it, but I can't. I am faking it, but there's a reason why, and I really cannot go today, and I really cannot go. Please don't make me, okay? And my dad takes out his belt, and he does what he does with that belt. And I am gonna finish this story because I've waited over a year to say this, and I'm gonna say it. I know it matters to some people, so I'm gonna say it. Scared. I remember looking at him, and it was inside this room. The bed was facing that way, so against that wall. He actually jumps on top of the bed, and he grabs my right leg. And I'm trying to explain, but you don't understand because there's something, Dad. Just try to listen to me, okay? There's this thing, but I just can't tell you yet. But there's this thing. There is. And I just need you to give me a little bit of time, Dad, because there's this thing, and it matters. It's big. Dad's. He just starts. So he starts, and he starts. He starts. And at some point it just comes out. I'm gay!
Okay, alright. May tissue dito, anak. Okay lang yun. Tutulungan kita.
I remember some silence. I remember my mom rushing into the room. And my mom is a lot more emotionally available than the asshole she married.
Shade.
And I remember her trying to say you're not gay, and just talk for a bit. And we talk, and things come out, and words come out, and there's a hug, and there's some kind of trying to reassure me that, you know what, that whatever it is, you're not gay, and it's gonna be okay, but you're just confused. Not knowing that for the last year and 3 months, I have been in that bed crying practically every night, hating myself, trying not to see my friends because I know that for what.
Let's pause the story. I am of two minds on this. It just feels like so much time has passed, and I've compartmentalized some feelings for so long that I for a second there it doesn't feel like I was watching myself, but like I was just feeling sorry for someone else's childhood. Is that weird? But that's honestly how it felt for a little bit, and maybe that's also because I was sharing things I was comfortable with at the time, but I wasn't sharing everything. There was a lot that I don't talk about, and I haven't. It's weird because like vloggers are normally these like transparent types, but when you see yourself pop up in local Philippine news articles and you hear your love life like torn apart and opinions thrown left and right, you kind of like, you build walls and you tell yourself like there are things I will never share, and there are things I want to be this person that's super accessible, but there are still things I'm not willing to share. It's weird because I made these vlogs in 2013 and I'm telling myself like I'm gonna be with you guys and I want to support you, and I want to be the guy that's here for you, and I clearly meant it at the time, but then like I didn't do follow-up vlogs. I did definitely post on my Instagram and my Twitter and my Facebook, and every International Day Against Homophobia and every LGBT Pride, I would make it a point to be there. Except for like I think 2016. I did miss 1 year. But you know, I realized that I was the kind of person that wanted to be there for you guys, and I did so in other capacities, but in terms of YouTube, I didn't. And I feel like this vlog, I kind of had to make this because if I'm going to keep it 100 with you guys, then I want to keep it 100 with you guys. I want you to know why I care so much, because there are issues I will care about, you know, and I can sympathize for, whether it be social justice or global warming. I sincerely do care about a number of issues. But then again, when something so throttles you during your adolescence and just the isolation, the thoughts of suicide, there are just so many things I don't talk about. So, okay, let me say this. In my YouTube channel, this is my promise to you, okay? I promise to just discuss issues that I still think matter to the community in a way that you come out from it a little better equipped. I said earlier I was of two minds, right? So now that I've made that promise to you, trying to keep it as real as I can. The other mind is the person I was between being disowned to early 20s was incredibly angry and resentful, and I am bashing my father here. I mean, my father had incredibly abusive personality traits growing up, yes, but at the same time, no person is one thing. I don't want to be so one-dimensional so that that's the only thing you take away from my family. Because the truth is that my dad was a kid who grew up in a super abusive family life himself. That being said, he's also a guy who did the best to financially take care of his family, which his own father didn't always do for him. I know that my grandfather, my paternal grandfather on my dad's side, was physically abusive to my grandmother, hit her, truly just beat the woman. And he left her and allowed a single mother, a single Latina mother in Queens, to raise 4 kids on her own. So that's my dad's story. And I've had enough space and time at the age of 28 to kind of step away from my own sob story to see, you know, what my dad had to go through. And despite that very ugly situation, my dad, for better or worse, has made sure to stay by my mom and financially support her when he could. He's had his good years and his bad years, like everybody. So I guess what I'm trying to get at is my dad is not the ultimate evil person in my family's story. Even in this video, I acknowledged that I knew, even at the age of I think 23 here, I knew that they were not going to be around forever. And yeah, that reality is still the case. They're not going to be around forever. So I haven't seen my parents in about 2 years. Logistically, it's not as easy as if you live an hour away. I live in the Philippines, so it does take, you know, a 16-hour flight and connecting flight plus, and on top of that, you have to take a lot of time out of my schedule. But still, that's not a valid excuse. I haven't made time to see my family. And yeah, I'm not proud of that fact. So anyways, you are allowed to keep some things to yourself. That is okay. That's your prerogative as a human being in a world where you have the right to privacy. But at the same time, I feel like as a vlogger, I took that a little too far by keeping you away from so much of my childhood and from keeping you away from my parents, because so all of that said, I'm thinking about visiting my parents coming this December, near my birthday. I'm gonna be turning 29 years old, and let's talk about that for a second, because in showbiz, my God, you would think aging is the worst thing you can do. I mean, especially after watching this video, you guys get the further away I am from that age, the better. But I am happy to be growing older. But this industry does everything to make you feel like it's the worst thing you can do. And keeping it real with you guys, there are a hell of a lot of people in showbiz who lie about their age, who have public ages and then real ages. And I have allowed myself not to lie to you guys. I've never lied about my age on social media. But when I'm in front of a director or we're in a final casting, hell yes, I will look a director straight in the eye and say I'm 25 without blinking. You know, this industry makes you do that. But I don't want to do that. I'm like 28 fucking years old. I'm not 60. And there's nothing wrong with being 60 for the record. But I just want to be able to not have to fake even little things. It's just not in my persona. And I feel like I fought so hard to get out of this tangle of lies in my adolescence. The thought of having to revert back to that. Ugh. Why? You know, it's not for me. So I'm happy I did this vlog. This is one of the vlogs I needed to do. And it was like, I literally called 2 friends before doing this because I didn't want to shoot this. Thank you to Kuya Ethan for answering my call earlier. It may seem simple, but I needed a little pep talk, so. Other than that, you guys seem to keep asking for particular vlogs. One of them was a reaction to my past. I gave you that. I am doing a dating, I think I'm gonna do a couple of things. A history of Sebastian Castro, so you guys kind of know also like what I've been up to through the years. And then it gives me a chance to react to things in my past as well. And on top of that, I'm gonna shoot a dating vlog. I put a poll on my Instagram stories and also on my YouTube channel. And you guys overwhelmingly said you wanted to have a dating vlog, which I'm single, so from my understanding, I think you guys kind of want me to talk a little bit more about dating advice for the gay world. Maybe how to survive dating in the gay world, because I know it doesn't operate like it does for everybody else. And I'll give you that. Not that I'm an expert, but I've done enough things wrong to know what you shouldn't do and have an idea of where to set you in the right direction. Anyways, all that said, I want to end this by making sure you guys know there is a link, a master link in the description box. It basically has a hotline for all kinds of different mental health services that you guys can look for in the Philippines. I know there's a lot of different people from different countries here. If you want to link to mental health services in your country, feel free to drop them in the comment box. It's great when you guys like my videos and watch, you know, that's fun. But if you really want to get me excited, I do like comments. I like knowing that I'm talking to somebody. I like hearing a little bit about your stories. And after I actually hit the publish button, I spend like a solid 30 minutes every time making sure that I respond to some people. So drop me a comment, let me know where you're at, what's your story. And that's all for this vlog. Thank you for this, I needed this one. Till the next vlog, Bimb.